Versatile Mage. Chapter 295. Fighting one another. I did ask him to get some water. He must have gone to the pond nearby, Bai Tingting said, her face flushed red. Okay, I'll go check it out. Try and guard your mind with your will. That thing is able to bewitch people without them knowing and magnify their emotions, Mo Fan told her. Okay, sure, Bai Tingting nodded. Mo Fan told Mu Ningzhu to keep an eye out. Since it was hard to tell how many people were being affected, Mo Fan did not tell the group about his finding. The focus magic tool could only protect his own mind. He was able to wake Bai Tingting up, as she was not deeply affected yet. As for Liao Mingxuan and Ming Kong, he would not be able to wake them up, so it was better to leave them tied up. Mo Fan pretended to go on patrol nearby, but he was actually heading to the pond that Bai Tingting had mentioned. The first person to go crazy was Ming Kong, and the only time he left the church was to get some water. Therefore, the pond was definitely where it all started. The whole city was deadly quiet as midnight approached. He could barely hear faint cries in the distance, belonging to nocturnal beasts hunting for food. The grim moonlight revealed the silhouettes of dilapidated buildings. Mo Fan was rather courageous, as the others would not dare to leave the relatively safe church alone in the middle of the night. The shadow element granted Mo Fan the ability to see a certain distance in the dark. He soon located the fountain from which Ming Kong had gathered the water. Mo Fan did not approach it straight away. He investigated the surroundings instead. As he approached a muddy area, he suddenly discovered a pile of bones beneath his feet. It was such a mess that he could barely identify their species. Mo Fan had seen plenty of bones before, but when he explored the bushes nearby, he discovered even more piles of bones ahead. There were enough bones to lay a 50-meter path from his feet. Furthermore, since the place was slightly sunken, it looked like a mud pit filled with bones. The bones were horrifying under the cold moonlight. It was impossible to count the actual number of corpses around him. The problem was, the place did not seem dangerous at all. Why would there be so many bones here? Mo Fan continued his search and ended up stumbling into a few beasts who seemed to be fighting against each other. They were tearing at one another ferociously. On a closer look, the beasts turned out to be several one-eyed magic wolves. It was as if the one-eyed magic wolves shared a deep hatred for one another. Every bite was aimed at vital spots. Blood splattered everywhere, painting a gory sight in the middle of the night. That's weird. One-eyed magic wolves usually live in packs. It doesn't make sense for them to fight each other. Mo Fan hid in a corner and watched as the wolves attacked one another in a crazed frenzy. Eventually, some of the wolves were bitten to death by their own kind. The last one standing collapsed to the ground with severe injuries. The scattered grass was fully covered with blood, and its stench lingered in the air. Mo Fan was utterly confused. He cast a glance at the eerie pond nearby. No shit, this place is too weird. I better have everyone leave at once. The mud pit filled with bones, the wolves killing each other. There must be something controlling the minds of the beasts. Mo Fan did not dare to venture deeper, as he didn't know if powerful beasts were hiding in the water. The piles of bones were a good indication that it was not something he wanted to mess with. Mo Fan turned around and headed back toward their camp at the church. Along the way back, he suddenly felt strong energy coming from the church. Fire, a bright fire. As he got closer to the church, his sight was filled with blazing red. The previously peaceful church was now engulfed in flames. Several figures were scattered around the place, with star patterns being summoned and aligned. Mo Fan was stunned. He had no idea what had happened at the church in the brief period he was away. He did not dare waste another second. His body turned into a puff of shadow as he moved rapidly toward the church. The church had been set aflame. The light from it lit up the entire place. As soon as Mo Fan arrived, he saw Bai Tingting and Peng Liang supporting Song Chia, who still couldn't move, looking like survivors of a calamity. On the other side of the church, Mo Fan saw Mu Nuzhao and Luo Song fighting each other. The two were already casting intermediate spells, not planning to give their opponent any chance of surviving. Why would Mu Nujiao suddenly fight with Luo Song? Did Luo Song do something lewd to her too? That was totally unforgivable. Hey fatty, you dare touch my Jiaojiao, I'll crush you into pieces. Mo Fan was infuriated. He had already summoned pillars of flame in his hands. Screw you, she attacked me first. Mo Fan, is this how you repay my kindness? Luo Song shouted in terror. Luo Song was already weaker than Mu Nujiao to begin with. He was forced to use his equipment just to barely hold his ground. If Mo Fan were to join the battle, he would truly die an instant death. These assholes were fucking crazy to attack their allies without mercy. Mo Fan took a closer look and saw a red mark glowing faintly beneath Mu Nujiao's skin on her forehead. It somehow added a hint of evil to the dignified and graceful Mu Nujiao. It did give her a different kind of charm. Even Mu Nujiao is affected. Damn it, it was only magnifying their emotions before. Why would it suddenly make them fight each other? They're just like the one-eyed magic wolves. Mo Fan exclaimed in astonishment. He could not allow himself to attack Mu Nujiao, since he would feel the pain himself if he were to injure her. Fatty, try to hold on. Don't hold back, but try not to harm her. I'll find the culprit behind this as soon as possible, Mo Fan said to Luo Song. Luo Song almost burst into tears. What do you mean? Try not to harm her. I'm about to be crippled by her instead. Mo Fan disappeared into his shadow and proceeded to the other side of the church. He soon discovered Zhao Manting and Zheng Bingxiao being flanked by Shen Mingxiao, Qingqing, and Zhao Mingyu. A terrifying rock golem the height of a 3-story building stood beside Zheng Bingxiao. Its strength was utterly shocking. A single punch from it could produce a wave of earth over 10 meters tall. Zheng Bingxiao had hidden his true strength. He already had a warrior-level contracted beast. The giant earth fusion golem swung its bulky arms to shield itself from Zhao Mingyu's intermediate fire spell. The overwhelming power of the fiery fist was only able to knock it back a single step. Such a powerful beast, Mo Fan murmured. Mo Fan, don't you fucking tell me you've gone crazy too. Zhao Manting screamed in Mo Fan's direction. I'm not, Mo Fan replied quickly. Zhao Manting and Zheng Bingxiao let out relieved sighs simultaneously. If this lunatic Mo Fan turned against them, it would take at least 3 or 4 people just to hold him back. His double soul-seeded fire and lightning elements were no joke at all. Hurry up and turn them back to normal. Otherwise, it will either end with us killing them, or them killing us. Chapter end. Please guys like, comment, share, and subscribe.